Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for lending me your time, energy, and attention. I'm sending you the warmest greetings and salutations. My name is Reverend Phoenix Coffin Williams, and I am the first priest of the Corellian tradition. And I'm coming back with my first broadcast of the new year for 2026. Hope y'all all experienced a great, switching over of the calendrical new year. Um, I know many of us, myself included, we celebrate a new year at a different time of year, one that is more esoterically or magically appropriate. Um, but we do also, and I do also recognize that, like, the rest of society celebrates New Year at this time. And so, for everyone who's celebrating New Year, around this time of year, congratulations on a new year. Happy New Year. Hope you're doing all of the stuff that you need to do to fortify yourself for the coming year. For those of us who celebrate New Year at a different time, get ready and make your plans because it will be here before you know it. Interestingly enough, depending on what calendar you follow, depending on what culture you follow, depending on where you get your information, like you might find that there are many new happen like throughout a year. So pagans might celebrate Samhain as their new year. Other people might celebrate New Year closer to the springtime where the earth is waking up and moisture is returning as opposed to like that frozen seeds can be put into the ground maybe like the spring equinox, some people celebrate that as the new year. People who celebrate the Chinese New Year will be celebrating it this month. I want to say it's this month. The Chinese New Year is in January. But again, depending on what you believe in, what you study, what you subscribe to, your new year might not be right now. So if it's not your new year, then go ahead and continue your work, your magic, your studies, like as for regular. But if this is a new year for you, think about what you want to on purpose manifest with this year. I personally do not believe in New Year's resolutions. A lot of people ask, Phoenix, you're a therapist, you're a high priest, like surely you understand where we're coming from when we set New Year's resolutions. And really, I don't. I don't understand where people come from when they set New Year's resolutions. I don't understand where people come from when they say, I'm going to wait until January 1st to start doing the things that will be making my life better. You got your New Year's resolutions. You've waited an entire year to do what is right for you, which means that you've allowed yourself to sit in your comfort zone. You've allowed yourself to sit in your improper habit, allowed yourself to cultivate your lack of discipline. You have allowed yourself to not prioritize the things that are the best for you. And then for some reason, the clock strikes midnight, January 1st. All of those things are not going to be affecting you anymore, and you are going to be resolute in changing your life cold turkey. That's not a thing. That's absolutely not a thing. And I will also add that there is a first of the month. So why wait a whole year to become resolved or to set a resolution? Why not every single month? You know what? Today's the first of the month. It's going to be another first of the month in between 30 and 31 days. How come you don't have monthly resolutions? How come you're not knocking your manifestations down or building them all up, whatever the language that you want to use? How come you're not doing it every single month? It's because it's you. The date is not magical. The fact that you made up your mind is not magical. The fact that the moon is where it needs to be, it's not going to be a thing. None of it is going to be. And you can take a look around at people who set New Year's resolutions every single year. And then by the 5th, the 10th, the 15th of the month, they are already back in the old patterns. It's because our old patterns, our old habits, they are ingrained in us. They are ingrained in our muscle memory, Our brain has created neural pathways to be able to do those things easily over and over and over again. Our circadian rhythms are already established towards the habits that we already carry. And so already going into New Year's Day, you've got a bunch of things against you for, which is why I say, clip it. Tie your manifestations, tie your resolutions, tie your goals to the Sabbats, tie it to the first of every month, as opposed to the first of every year. Tie 8 different goals to 8 different Sabbats. And you is Yule time, or well, Yule, passed a couple of days ago, but it's Yule time. That's the first Sabbat of the year. If you count Samhain as New Year, maybe Samhain is like the last Sabbat of the year, and Yule is the first Sabbat of the year, or maybe Samhain is the first Sabbat of the new year for you. However you think about it. But in between Samhain and Yule, what do you want to have complete? In between Yule and Candlemas, what do you want to have complete? In between Candlemas and Ostara, what do you want to have complete? In between Ostara and Beltana, what do you want to, or Baltana, what do you want to have complete? In between Baltana and the summer solstice, in between the summer solstice and Lunasa, in between Lunasa and Mid, and Neban and Samhain, so on and so forth. So, your Samhain to Yule is a short-term goal. Your Yule to Candlemas is a short-term goal. But maybe your Samhain to your Baltana, that is a long-term goal, because Samhain from October to May, that's a few months and time, and you might need that momentum to get you up and get you rolling. But I definitely say over and over and over again, fuck these New Year's resolutions. It's a great way to keep you stuck. New Year doesn't give you the magical power or the ability to get in with your higher self or with your higher good. You got to focus that and make it a priority each and every time. So you decide that you need something in your life and it is October. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's not a New Year's resolution. Do not wait a whole nother 100,000 months just to get your life right. Absolutely 10 out of 10, do not recommend. We just talked about the Wheel of the Year and the 8 Sabbats. Add to that the full moons and the new moons. Each of those now creates a starting and an ending point for you to reach any and all of your goals. From a new moon to a full moon. That's X amount of days. What can you accomplish in those 2 weeks? So from new moon to full moon, that's the halfway point, right? Like, boom. Now, what you gonna do in those next 2 weeks to finish out the month? From full moon back to new moon. Or if you wanna switch it, all right, full moon to new moon, that's 2 weeks. What are we gonna accomplish? What do we have to get done? What are the 3 things that we have to do in between the full moon and the next new moon to keep ourselves on task? New moon is here. All right, now we got 2 weeks. We got until the next full moon to wrap this up. And that is how you put your shorter term goals into the moon phases. How many full moons and how many new moons are there in between Ostara and Baltana? That's how much time you got. Those are the demarcations now. You've split the time into 4s, 2 full moons, 2 new moons potentially. A March full moon and April full moon, a March new moon and April new moon. So boom, that's cut it into 4s. And now whatever it is that you got to do in between Ostara and Baltana, first quarter from full moon to new moon, second quarter from new moon to full moon, third quarter from full moon back to the next new moon, final quarter, boom, it's the Sabbat. And that is how you can incorporate some magical timing in the cosmos into your manifestations. And you don't have to wait a whole year to do it. We get 13 full moons in a year. We get 8 Sabbats. There's no need to wait. And for people who are magical, you don't have the power to start your stuff immediately and make it happen. You really only get the power by waiting and doing everything other than your resolution until January 1st, miss me completely. That's not real. That's not logical. Like, you're not thinking about your life in a way that's meant to help you succeed. If you think that you have to wait a single second to start to manifest your highest good. I know I sound pretty militant about this, and everyone who does want to set their New Year's resolutions, you go ahead and do that. But just keep in mind, there are a lot of programs out there that capitalize on this fallacy that will take your money even if you do not succeed. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about New Year's resolutions. Okay, I'm gonna buy these apps. Okay, buy an app. How's the app going to help you? Are you going to ignore the prompts? How come that app didn't work in March? How come the app didn't work in June? You're gonna buy a coach. You're gonna get a coach. Okay, cool. How come you didn't get a coach in December or in April or what have you? Like, how come you have to wait until January to make all the good things happen? Whether or not you lose the weight, your personal trainer is still going to take the money. Whether or not you put on the muscle, your personal trainer is still going to take the money. Whether or not you take the reminders, the app is still going to get your subscription at the next renewal period. So keep all this in mind. You got to buy something, do all these things. They are going to cost you whether or not you get the outcome that you are resolved to get. So start thinking about immediately, as soon as you recognize that a need arises. I need to do better at reaching out to my group of friends. Do not wait until the next new year to start putting things into place to be better at connecting with your friends. Can you imagine it being June, you being like, damn, I really got to connect with my friends? You know what? I'm going to put that on my New Year's to-do list. Now that's 6 months of you not connecting with your friends. You really got to update your resume because you want to get a new job. You're not fired. You're not in any kind of a crisis at the moment, but you really just don't like where you're working. You're ready for something different. You're ready for an expansion. It's October. Why wait until a New Year's resolution or until January, until after the holiday season to get that resume up and together, to get your CV, curriculum vitae up and legit? Sure, maybe other folks might not get back to you in the time that you want, but that has nothing to do with what you have control over. If I had to make one blanket statement, and this statement is going to be inflammatory, not like a lot of y'all are not going to like it. Some of y'all might understand where I'm coming from based on how I've been talking about it so far. But I really think that New Year's resolutions is a way to continue to participate in procrastination and avoidance. I've heard now so far 6 people who have set New Year's resolutions and have decided to wait until Monday to get started on them. That's what I mean. When it comes to making life changes, when it comes to being resolved, your brain, your mind, your comfort zone will give you plenty of reasons to make you wait. It's easier to count how long I've been without my coffee if I started on January 1st. It's actually not. Quick coffee on December 3rd. It is now March 15th. Just count. Three months, 12 days, whatever. So keep that in mind, not only now because it's around that time of year, but as other New Year markers start to come up around the calendar, just remember those were absolutely additions or creations by socio-political kind of what have yous. You do not need any new day, any new year, any new what have you to get started on making your life what you want it to be. It's about to be a new second. After that, it's going to be a new minute. After that, it's going to be a new hour. After that, it's going to be a new day. You have all of these options. Why wait until the new year? Procrastination, avoidance, maybe a lack of discipline. Maybe you don't really, really want it. Maybe you don't think you have what it takes to succeed, all of that. But seriously, if you want to see the evolution, or if you want to see the right use of energy, or if you want to see yourself move into your godlike potential, choose every single day to be resolved about something. In session, in therapeutic sessions, a lot of my clients will say, it's the consistency that gets me. And I tell them, you don't need to be consistent about anything. You just need to wake up today and decide whether or not you're going to do it. Consistency is how you would describe how often or how long you've done what you've been doing, but you really can't be consistent until it's the end of the day, right? Like you can't measure up the consistency until it's the end of the day. So, are you going to do the thing today? If you do it, then you've been consistent. You can't determine consistency about what happens tomorrow. You can't determine, you know what? Consistency is if I do it today, tomorrow, and for 3 other days this week. Now you have left the present moment and used moments that haven't even arrived yet to try to judge yourself and your success. I got to do it all week in order to be consistent. No, you have to get up and decide, I'm going to do it today. That's it. Because when the day is over and you go to bed and then you wake up the next day, that's your new opportunity for consistency. Am I going to do it today? At the end of a year, if you wanted to have a consistent workout program, would you say to yourself, my workout program wasn't consistent because I worked out 3 times this week, 4 times this week, 5 times that week, 3 times that week, 3 times that week, 2 times that week, 1 time that week, 4 times that week, 7 times that week. I did a marathon and some kickboxing, so I didn't work out that way. Like at the end of the year, when you take a look at your goal, or your participation in the thing that you said you wanted to do, will you sit back and say, that wasn't consistent? Now you're not going to do that. You're like, I consistently worked out at least 2 times a week every week. Or I consistently engaged myself in very rigorous physical activity. I did that consistently, at least 2 times, at least 3 times, what have you, a week. Consistency really does depend on whether or not you're going to do the thing today. If you do it today, you're consistent. If you don't do it today, you're not consistent. I'm going to leave this right here for now. And I want to encourage everyone to recognize when you participate in that avoidance or that procrastination. Are you going to wait until the week starts anew to do the right thing for yourself? Because that means you will continually be waiting. Because all you got to do is forget to do it one time. Like, damn, I'm not consistent. Now I got to wait until next Monday, next week, or what have you. No, every day. That's the day. That's the message. There is one more thing that's completely off topic that I did want to share with y'all. So for those of you who have been following, I have been talking about the importance of and the magic of like writing stuff on your candles or on your glass encased candles so that when they burn, the prayers are continually active. So here's some examples of some stuff that I wrote on this candle. My connection to my higher self gets stronger all the time. Every aspect of my life is stable. Money and abundance finds me easily. My communication is clear and effective. So those are examples of things that I write on these glass encased candles. And when I put them on the altar of my higher self, if I put them on, for any of the workings, that is just like a component. It's like a way of dedicating the candle. It's a way of bringing attention back to these affirmations over and over and over again, especially because as the wax starts to melt, the wording, because one of these is written in red, so it wasn't that visible until the red wax melted away. As the wax melts away, it gives a cool little impression on the glass. Sometimes, depending on where your wall is, you can see some of the shadows of the writing on the wall, and it becomes fun to oh, that's the prayer about my communication. and so on. So it becomes, fun to interact with these. I absolutely recommend writing on your glass encased candles. Um, if you're someone who cares about the environment, you can keep these. You can put them in some boiling water, and the wax right here will re-liquefy, and you can then dump it out, and you can get the that anchor that the wick was in out, and you can then you can put a wick in here. You can actually even reuse the anchor if you want to, and you can put some wax in here, and you can re-pour a candle. So you can reuse these if you want to. If they're been written on, you might want to scrub it off a little bit. But either way, I do like the glass encased candles for that particular reason. This one lasted probably about a week. The other ones, the ones that are the Goya brand, they used to be like 7-day candles. They're not 7-day candles anymore. You need them to be like a little bit thicker. I want to say that like this candle cost $5 at a Botanica, which glad to pay it. But that's basically it for today. The New Year's resolutions is a myth. It'll help you stay stuck and write stuff on your candles when you're praying, folks. I'll be back next Friday with another episode of Fridays with Phoenix. And look out for some more inspirations around working with your higher self. And then soon I'll be transitioning into working daily temple rites with your patrons. So all that is coming up in the near future. But again, Happy New Year to those who are celebrating. Keep your affairs in order and get your stuff legit for those who are anticipating New Year's later on in the year, like maybe at the spring equinox or at Samhain or what have you. Just keep it classy, folks. I love you all a lot, and I will talk to y'all soon.